So I'm having a protein drink with some crackers with peanut butter. And I ran out of eggs and I needed protein. So I did my protein drink. Notice the RF reading as my skin burns, left side mainly, back, chest, obliques, arms. Notice the EF reading, very high as well. But the RF reading before I started eating was 0 to 2. Now, there were some comments outside the window about Rick. Rick was with her all night last night. And there was knocking in the loading dock all through the night last night. Somebody was in the loading dock last night, and I could hear the knocking even though I was in the bedroom. My living room wall that separates this unit from the unit next door is just above the. But my bedroom is about 20 feet away from the loading dock, and even more than that. And I could hear these loud knocking all night. All night. I got up around 3 o'clock to use the bathroom. And the detector next to me, well, actually, no, the detector was in the living room and I could hear it beeping. But I could feel the heat between my legs as I got back into bed. And there was knocking at 3 o'clock in the morning in the loading dock. So this morning, there was comments about Rick, and I have to settle down. She has to settle down with Rick. We're not going to start over. And there's a new warrant signed and waiting, and all the cops have to do is come and pick me up. So the implication is I had better show Rick. So between my legs were constantly pulsed last night. I'm shielded. So I could feel the heat. My body was heating up. So as soon as I get my batteries for my thermometer, I will show the temperature right beside the detector, as well as the body temperature. The air in the room heats up, my body heats up when these signals increase. And I feel really sick. My nose immediately starts running. My body gets inflamed, my legs get inflamed, the joints get inflamed. You feel like you have arthritis. And as soon as the signals go down, it's almost instant. All the symptoms disappear. So if I were to go and present to the hospital with these symptoms and I'm not being pulsed, they'll send me home, right? No diagnosis. So the same thing happens with my heart palpitations. The signals go up, I get heart palpitations. I go to the hospital, the emergency. They take my blood pressure and it's normal. Everything is normal. That's because I don't have, well, I wouldn't say I don't have issues, but if you have a very minor underlying issue, it's exaggerated when these signals are increased. So if you have, a defective valve that you could live with under normal circumstances, and it's not presenting symptoms, and you're fine, and it's not getting worse, and you're taking care of yourself, you can live a normal life, not a problem. But even a minor issue becomes a major issue when you're targeted this way with these signals. So it's interesting that with the coronavirus, a flu, which is really a flu, a deadlier form of the flu from what I heard, which could be fought without a vaccine. If you have a compromised immune system, I'd imagine it would get you. You would get really sick. However, what I don't understand is, from what I read in some of the countries, 10% of the victims, well, did I get that number right? Let's say a huge number of the victims, because I don't remember the exact number, have a heart condition. What does the flu symptoms, what does the flu infection have to do with your heart condition? I'm not a doctor, I'm just asking the question. I'm sure there is a relationship. If, however, you have a flu and these signals are very high in your area, it will make it a lot worse. And I'd imagine that the complications of a cold that affects your lungs can then have an effect of making your heart condition worse, because your heart and your lungs work together, from what I understand. A flu affects your lungs affect your heart, the way the blood flows. So in my case, these signals affect my heart by stressing out my system and causing arrhythmia. Now, if I had a cold, a really bad cold, and my lungs, and I get pneumonia, I'd imagine it would probably make the flow of blood through the lungs difficult, and also make it difficult flowing through the heart. So I'm not a doctor. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe that's the relationship. Not sure. But anyway, so yeah, so you could see those signals there. So it's pulsing down. It went down to 1, 2, 5.8, 5.9, 6.4. And my arms, my shoulders, the back of my neck are all tightening up. And you know that feeling. It feels like suddenly you tighten your muscle, and you held it for a long time. So you squeeze your muscle together and you tighten them, and you're holding on to it in a tightened position. That's how it feels, painful. as if you tighten the muscle and you kept on tightening it without releasing. That's how it feels right now. So I'm going to stop there.